From the future site of Super Bowl 60 in a few years' time, there's a look inside Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara. Up next, a good one in the NFC West and a wild card rematch from a year ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. He completes this to Walker. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. You look at this Niner defense. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And this is one of those something's got to give games. You got the number 1 passing team in the NFL against the number 1 defense against the pass. A lot of times the battle's in the trenches. We know that. We see it all the time. But this game's going to be won on the outside.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Brown goes in motion left. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. Snap comes at 1. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, remember, Charles, this is the number 1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're number 1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at the 34. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. backwards, back to the 33. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Well, this defense for the Seahawks very strong in that victory a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Red, cycle. Black shot.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came expecting the offense to light this game up, and so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, of course, this a critical game in regards to not just the division race, but playoff seeding as well. They are a game up, but a loss here could really muddy the waters.
And both of these teams want to clear things up about how they feel about each other and their standing in the league. Because these two teams, they've really been the cream of the crop in their division. So this game, it's been looming on both of their schedules.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. McCaffrey running up the middle. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Striker, 3-3.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. Oh, boy, Christian McCaffrey shaken up. So hold everything here as they're going to take a look at it. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. First carry for Elijah Mitchell. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. So first and 10 now from the 30. First down, here's Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
Shot, 17.
They run over center with Mitchell, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Here's Lance to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Seahawks will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score. And then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
With the score, Seahawks 14, 49ers nothing.
Ready up.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Strike. Check strike. Just take it. Slide through. Set.
Here's Lance. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Seahawks will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, He's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Rodgers now on first down. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Rodgers going to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Will Anderson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there. Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus their defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, you know, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
To about the 40-yard line. The Niners at 11-1 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Ready?
Right back to Mitchell here. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
Going for it, it's Mitchell. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now they'll throw with Lance. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Danny Gray, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have got it back to within a score. Jake Moody now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7.
That's the score. Seahawks 14, 49ers 7. Mitch Wishnowsky to kick off Orson versus Gunn.
Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 6. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Here is 3rd and 5. On play action, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. Oh, what was he thinking there? It's easily intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 58 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
52 blocks.
And Lance now to throw.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Ready.
Here's 2nd and 10. Lance throwing out wide for Samuel.
Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Niners are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Moody good with the extra point.
And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Don't let him rest.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That open man that time, they end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers.
That's to the rookie Jackson Smith-Njigba.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. In motion left comes Brown. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. This is caught. It's Brown.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. An injury stoppage here, and that's Marquise Brown, who appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Motion man is Schwartz.
Rodgers now on first down.
On the slant, here's Smith-Njigba. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
To throw is Rodgers. And he's got Pierce. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
This is where you can try and get a tight end in space. They like this matchup, so they're going to let their 2 receivers to his outside, run simple little short routes, hoping to suck up the secondary. And that'll free up space for their tight end on a corner route to make a big play.
Motion man is Schwartz.
Rodgers to throw once more. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. DK Metcalf in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 21-14.
4 seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it. Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw, it's Lance.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
50. Hey, you right. Cat 300. Cat 300. Next one. Hey, 626.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Walker.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Third down and 1.
Now Rodgers not pleased with the setup. He's going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Now it's Rodgers.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
DK Metcalf, 48 yards. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it's in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out when they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Lance to throw on second down here. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On the handoff, Mitchell. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or two short. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
Another run with Mitchell. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 8.
10 cycles.
A give here to Mitchell. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Mitchell. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. And they'll go for it. Lance. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Second and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. Sticking with Walker on second down.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Now Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Man in motion left, that's Smith and Jigba. Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop?
Motion man is Schwartz. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
That'll be a gain of 16, and it'll be 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
This could be it. This could be the tournament.
Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up.
Ready, break.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance.
And this one is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Ready.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Ready.
Here's Mitchell.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
126 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
And the tackle by Kalen Barnes.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Ready.
But once again, it's Mitchell.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down. as he gets a little more than he needed. 4 yards to pick up there on 4th and 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. A 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly a must. It's 1st and 10. A run with Mitchell. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here's 1st and 10. Trying the right side with Mitchell. Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Here's 1st down. First down, here's Mitchell. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They run over center with Mitchell.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
They'll come to the line now on a 3rd and 6. Right back to Mitchell here. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
This is the one, boys. Here we go.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
The clock showing 19 seconds to go. Down the numbers. There he goes. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Play clock. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So for the Seahawks, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's a rare misstep as they'll drop to 11-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.